What are the fundamental mistakes investors make when forming a real estate LLC? Investing in real estate offers many lucrative advantages compared to other investment vehicles. On the other hand, it can also expose real estate investors to risks and pitfalls they never knew existed. That said, forming a real estate LLC is one of the more important things investors can do to safeguard themselves from outside interference. A real estate LLC is a corporate structure that aims to not only shield you from being sued if things go awry, but protect your personal assets such as a home, personal bank account, or investments. By forming a real estate LLC, investors and their respected businesses will be viewed as two separate entities in the eyes of the corporate world, helping to protect them from being personally liable in case of debt or lawsuit from the business. Along with protection, a real estate LLC offers unique tax advantages to investors, as well as the flexibility to accommodate their growing business demands. How to set up a real estate LLC in 7 steps. Starting a real estate investment LLC has risen in popularity in the past decade, namely due to the unique benefits that cannot be ignored. Forming a real estate LLC is not difficult, rather, it is a matter of doing your research and getting organized. The following is a brief overview of the required steps, which can vary by state. Step 1. Research regulations. The formation of an LLC will vary slightly from state to state, with fees and regulations being subject to change. Most investors choose to incorporate within the state they conduct business, though some opt for areas with more relaxed business laws like Delaware or Nevada. Do note that if you have a physical presence or do business across states, you will have to register a foreign LLC in each of these places. Selecting a state is entirely up to you. Be sure to research the process before actually getting started. All of this information will be available on your area's Secretary of State website. Step 2. Choose a business name. The right business name is more fundamental than you might think. Not only does it need to attract potential clients, but it must also be unique to register as an LLC. Write out a few potential options before going online to check their availability. One of the best tips to follow as you name your business is to avoid pigeonholing yourself. Starting an LLC is only the beginning of your real estate business, so choose a business name with potential. Once you have some candidates in mind, make sure they are not already taken. The most common reason LLC applications are rejected is because of problems with business names. Step 3. File your Articles of Organization. The Articles of Organization for an LLC is essentially the blueprint of a business. It should state the company name, primary address, start date, business owners, called members, and a brief description of the business. As I mentioned above, the specificities can vary between states. With that in mind, make sure you include each of the required parts before submitting your Articles of Organization to the Secretary of State's office. This is also the part of the process where business owners must pay any fees associated with starting an LLC. It may take a few weeks to hear back from their office, but there should be no issues with approval if everything is submitted properly. Step 4. Create your operating agreement. Not all states will require an operating agreement, though it is not a bad idea to create one as part of your business plan anyway. The states that do require one include California, Delaware, Maine, Missouri, and New York. While the other states have different rules, an operating agreement can actually come in handy no matter where you live. Essentially, it states how the business is divided among members and how decisions will be made. Further, it can also describe what would happen if one member decided to leave the company. One of the biggest perks of starting an LLC is that it can offer protection from several negative situations. The same logic applies to an operating agreement. It protects business members by anticipating possible scenarios that could harm the business structure. Step 5. Publish an intent to file. Only 3 states require an intent to file: Arizona, Nebraska, and New York. This means that if you are forming an LLC in one of these 3 states, you are required to publish an ad in your local newspaper stating your intention to create an LLC in that state. Generally, investors will publish ads over 3 to 6 weeks in a newspaper. The newspaper will then send back an affidavit of publication, which must be submitted to the Secretary of State's office. Step 6. Obtain licenses and permits. A real estate investment LLC is typically not the only designation you will need to open your doors for business. Almost all states will have separate licenses and permits that are required before conducting business. These can include a general business license, sales tax permit, professional license, and more. Again, your questions on this part of the process can typically be answered with a little online research. I recommend starting with the U.S. Small Business Administration's website and going from there. Step 7. Obtain an EIN. An EIN, or Employer Identification Number, is a federal tax ID issued by the IRS. They use your EIN to readily identify your firm and tax filings. All LLC firms in the USA pay a business privilege tax, and the state requires you to have an EIN to file. You may also be required to provide your EIN when opening a bank account or applying for municipal permits or licenses. Obtaining an EIN is a slightly longer process compared to their previous steps. I'm sure you know anything to do with the IRS is confusing. First, you must have complete knowledge of your LLC, such as your company information, managing member information, business address, business information, company details, and even critical information regarding vehicular assets and federal excise taxes. This is another reason why getting a professional registered agent is way more convenient, as they can do this for you as part of their service. Now, let's talk about the second option to form an LLC, and that is hiring a professional formation service. Professional formation services do all the steps you should be doing on your own, from filing necessary forms to acting as your registered agent. You usually have to allocate a specific budget for this option. As I already mentioned earlier, InkFile is one of the best companies out there to help you form your LLC. You can click on the link in the description to get access to this deal. InkFile is one of a kind, as it offers a free package with services such as preparing and filing your articles of organization. Well, you still have to pay $237 for the state fees, which you would have to do anyway if you chose the DIY option. But looking at the bigger picture, all other companies will still charge their service fee on top of state filing fees. InkFile does not collect this fee. This plan already includes a free registered agent for your first year of subscription, and $119 annually moving forward if you decide to continue the service after the first year. InkFile's next packages are the Gold and Platinum packages, which both have package fees already on top of the $237 state fee. Each package has its own set of services which are all worthy of the subscription you are paying for. The Gold package offers you the benefits of filing reports and taxes for your LLC. Every year, USA LLCs are required to file a state annual report. This report is essentially an information update of your file so that the state knows who is now in charge and how to contact your company. USA LLCs are also required to file state tax returns. To make matters even more complicated, your annual report and business privilege tax share a document and are due at the same time each year. With the InkFile's Gold package, you won't have to scribble notes of these reports because InkFile will handle the whole process for you. Your Platinum package also has these services in the bag, with the unique addition of expedited filing, getting a domain name, and a business email, which essentially increases your LLC's credibility. InkFile also has an exclusive partnership with Bank of America, so you can easily open an eligible checking account for your business. Yes, it is a must for your LLC to have a business account. Remember, an LLC has limited liability, for it is a separate entity from its members. You may forfeit your liability protections if you combine your personal and business money, and this is where the term piercing the corporate veil comes into play. Piercing the corporate veil is an LLC jargon that refers to the court's action to hold you as the owner or member of an LLC personally liable for the LLC's debts or actions. Now, if you have been sued by some lawyer who sees a crack in your LLC, they might resort to piercing the corporate veil, in which you are in any position defeated. This is why opening a separate bank account for your LLC is so important. Do you like the level of detail I'm providing you in my review so far? If yes, then make sure to let me know by liking my video and hitting that subscribe button for more high-quality business content.